For sale sign put out in August on the 5th day of September, the Rockets are now off the market. Tillman Fertitta isn't missing out on his opportunity to buy the franchise a second time around. A purchase by the billion-dollar buyer didn't need any help from anyone else. As we welcome you into Game Time, three-time NBA champ Rick Box to join us shortly. I'm Jared Greenberg. Tillman Fertitta was a few million short on his bid to buy the Rockets back in '93. Tuesday, he reportedly agreed to pay Leslie Alexander $2.2 billion for the franchise. The sale is now pending approval by the NBA's Board of Governors. Let's bring in our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge, for more on this big story here. DA, Tillman Fertitta has a lot of money. We clearly know that. He's been very involved in his many business ventures, even one very good TV show, I might add. But any indication on what kind of owner he'll be, how hands-on he wants to be?
Well, look, I was told this afternoon you can expect Mark Cuban light, I think is a good way to put it with regards to Tillman Fertitta. As you mentioned, he's host of his own TV show like Mark Cuban. Maybe not quite as public with his opinions about things as Mark Cuban, but look, this is a guy that's had courtside seats at the Rockets for many years. He's very well known in Houston, big supporter of the University of Houston athletic programs. As you mentioned, tried to buy the Rockets a few years ago, had a minority stake in the Houston Texans of the NFL when they got off the ground. So he's very well versed in the Houston sports community, knows the Rockets, knows Leslie Alexander. That's why, Jared, this deal got done so quickly. These are two guys that know each other. And so this was a deal that once the team was put on the market, Tillman Fertitta was one of a handful of people that stepped to the plate. And at the end of the day, did he pay a little bit more than he might have otherwise to get this transaction done? Maybe. But he wanted to get this transaction done. And as we've talked about many times, the NBA likes one guy or one woman who can write a check, and this guy can do it.
Well, let's go there, because oftentimes other people and bigger groups complicate making a transaction like this possible. Let's dive into the significance of having a franchise that has one guy paying all the bills and also getting the ownership of the arena too. How significant all of this is.
It's huge, Jared, and that's part of, again, why the deal got done so quickly, because Leslie Alexander owned all of that. It was his team, his building, his regional sports network, all of it. So there were no complications to this. It was a very clean deal. Somebody told me this afternoon, you could eat your plate off of the cleanliness of this deal. It's just easy. It was easy to do because Leslie Alexander, one guy, owned everything that Tillman Fertitta wanted, and they could come up with a price, and the price was agreed upon rather quickly. And again, maybe he paid a slight amount more than he would have, fair market value, probably. I mean, I'm no expert on this, but I've talked to people today, maybe a little less than $2 billion. But again, you want to get the deal done, this is what it's going to take, and that's what he did.
DA, Carmelo Anthony, believed by many still to only be willing to waive his no trade clause to go to the Rockets. Interesting story written by Ian Begley, who covers the Knicks for ESPN, earlier on Tuesday, talking about the Bucks' involvement maybe being that third team to help facilitate a deal. He didn't say whether it was the Bucks who started this conversation, but throwing out Jabari Parker as a potential candidate to be involved in the trade.
Well, look, as far as I've been told this afternoon, there's nothing new with Carmelo in terms of the Knicks looking to trade him. I don't think that anything is imminent. I don't think that the Bucks are going to be involved if this deal gets done. I do think they do have to address their Jabari Parker situation. There's no question about that going forward. I don't know that they're going to be able to pay him what he probably expects to be paid. So it wouldn't surprise me if his name was out there. You heard that they may have been sniffing around trying to get involved in the Kyrie Irving trade talks before that deal with Boston went down. So Milwaukee understands a few things. Look, they have a lot of good young players, but they're not where they need to be to compete with Boston and Cleveland in the Eastern Conference. They need to upgrade a little bit. So they're looking to do that and trying to see, I think, what the value is for some of their good young players. So it doesn't surprise me that their names are out there, but right now there's nothing happening with that one.
Well, there's something happening with DA. The Morning Tip is back. Good to see it on Monday morning on NBA.com. David, we hope everybody checks it out and look forward to speaking to you as we get closer to the season.
Thanks, Jared. Appreciate it.